हरियो नमो नमः नारायण परिपूर्ण गुणार्णवाय विश्वोदयस्थितितोलयन्नियतिप्रताय ज्ञानप्रताय विबुधासुर सौख्य दुःख सत्कारणाय विददाय नमो नमस्ते यो विप्रलिम्ब विपरीतमतिप्रभूतान् वादान् निरस्य कृतवान् भुविदत्ववादम् सर्वेश्वरो हरिरीति प्रतिपातकं तम् आनन्दतीर्थमुनिवर्यं नमामि पूज्याय राघवेन्द्राय सत्यधर्मरताय च भजतां कल्पवृक्षाय नमतां कामधेनवे सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावतीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। अत ईसावास्य उपनिषदः यज्ञेय उपनिषदः शान्तिपाठः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Namaskar. Today is a very auspicious day. Ashada Krishna Paksha Panchami Tithi, Shri Jaitirtha's Aradhana Day. Today Malkeda there will be full celebrations and we will also get the blessings of Shri Jaitirtha. Vidya Siddhanta Dudhvanta Vidvamsa Visakshanaha Jaitirthakya Dharanir Basadamno Hrudambare. With the invocation of Jaitirtha, we will continue our session of Isavasya Upanishad, for which he has written the Tika. He has written Tika only for the two of the Upanishad. Rest of the Upanishad Tika he has left it to Vyasatirtha. We will pray to Jaitirtha once again. We will continue. Isavasyam idaham sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bhunjita makrida kasyasvidhanam. Having pervaded the entire world with the Sarva Vyapitva, the God has occupied every nook and corner, giving His grace and serving as the controller to every being in this world. How the Isavasyam everywhere is spread out, and what is the sadhana by which we can do, because we have to do our karma, we have to submit our karma. Our karma bandhana, when we submit to him, he takes out the bandhana and we are able to hear his swarupa jnana, we take it. And in that context, they also brought out the other concept like, because the Atma is everywhere and Atma is with everyone. So once you understand that when the whole world is the power that he controls every being, then we don't have to have any fear in dealing with it. And this gives you a datum line by which, with the fearlessness, when you approach, you are able to do the upasana. Slowly you are able to do it, what the Gita says is nishkama karma. Without any, because it doesn't have to, don't have to deliberately do it. It comes in the way of you are doing the job itself. When you are doing the action, karma, you don't find anything. You keep doing it. I think as Jaitirtha has very beautifully told us, Trishna Vichetavat, like you are quenching your thirst. In a normal day-to-day life, whenever you need a water, you take it, you don't wait for that. You are doing it. But when you do it with the bhava, when you are doing it, it all becomes sanctified karma, and you are also doing the upasana. And when we went through that and finally we came to sloka number 8, where it gave a definition of, because the supreme power, that is an indication of supreme power, even though we will not be able to comprehend, is the full form, but how we can have an idea as to what are all his qualities, how he is taking care of the whole world and taking care of the whole society and all of us individually, all the plants insentient and sentient, all those things we said that. See, in the Isavasya Upanishadam, first one Mangalacharana is there, but Acharya. So beautiful Mangalacharana. In that he has, by and large, he has given the concept of Isavasya Upanishad in a sort of a nutshell. Nitya Nitya Jagadatre Nityaya Jnanamurtaye
Purnanandaya Haraye Sarvayagya Puje Namaha Yasmat Brahmendra Rudradi Devatanam Shriyopi Cha Jnana Spurti Tatasaspai Haraye Gurave Namaha. See, in that, when the first sloka, when Srimad Acharya, when he has put, and for that, Jayatita has given a very, very long tika on that. He is Nitya Nitya. See, he is always there. And is, as we saw last time, he is in every yuga, every kalpa, every time a creation has to be done. He takes the creation, he creates it, and then he also takes the entire creation and he paripalana, he does it, and finally he gives them the enough, when he as a controller, he gives every aspect of it, every efficiency to them, so that they can do the perform their karma in every yuga, every kalpa, and they can finally get the redemption based on their upasana and their effort and their karma jnana, and from jnana they then finally get to nama jnana, then swarupa jnana, they take it, in that process they are doing it. See, in fact, we are going to the next sloka, which is sloka number 9. The 9 to 14, this sloka number 9 to 14, I think there is some mic has to be muted. I think some cooker sound is coming. See, the sloka number 9 to 14, it is telling the sadhana. First, the sloka number 1 to 8, we understood what is the supreme power and how we will be able to approach, and how he is guiding all of us, so that we do not have anything special fear about. We don't have to conceal ourselves, or we have to close ourselves. We can open up, so that the entire world we can interact. And we also do the karma. When we do the karma, Baba, you don't have to worry about it. Once you do it, you submit it, you don't have to worry. You keep on doing the karma like you are quenching your thirst. That's what we saw. The sloka number 9 to 14, they are going to talk about a little difficult concept like sadhana. Sadhana, in that, because this is this sloka number 9 to 14 has been interpreted by various acharyas, various commentators differently. In this sloka number 9 to 14, two words which are going to be very, very important. Even though it appears apparently it's nothing, we have already seen these words. In fact, we have dealt with these words. But these words are being progressively taken as to how we should be able to understand these words conceptually. In each of the slokas 9 to 14, they tell in a particular, they give a component for us to understand. But once we have done up to 8 and we have seen, because we all had the avidya, which is ignorance. Once ignorance is the root cause of bhaya, and from bhaya dukkha comes, or dukkha to bhaya, they are interchangeable, both of them comes. Once you take out the ignorance, once you know the controller is residing in you, residing in all other creatures, all other elements, and then finally God has been described in sloka number 8, because they gave us very, very sort of a mother-like understanding. He is not like a human form, he is not having sinews like us and all, but then he has been, because doing it, he was away and he has got all the qualities. He is an achintya shakti. We will not be able to imagine, but then we will be able to have an indication, and we will be able to do our upasana, because he knows finally the entire power comes from them. The two words which I talked about was vidya and avidya. See, vidya and avidya, we talked in a sort of a concise forms as ignorance. Ignorance. Vidya is knowledge. Avidya, basically, avidya, once you take out, you have vidya. But then, without avidya, you would not have got vidya. See, unless you know it is avidya, you can't call. See, for instance, when we go from, for mathematics, initially we know all small mensuration, arithmetics and all. Once we go to algebra, the basic mensuration and all these abilities are required. It is at the back of the mind. Subsequently, when you go to algebra, and then you go to differentiation, when you go to integration and all those things, when you slowly evolve yourself and all, you come to know every time, because we don't come to know integration unless we are asked to make some assumptions to understand differentiation, and afterwards integration and all, then we are able to know. Unless we know we had avidya, we will not be able to know. Supposing if we think, look, ignorance, we know that, then you will not be able to get into that. So avidya is considered in two ways. In both, this Advaiti concept and all, they say it is a desires and everyday, day-to-day karma in the world is avidya. It helps you once you do the upasana and all, it helps you to grow, helps you to get enlightenment. But when you get the enlightenment, you are still in the cycle of rebirth. For us, what is the final sort of attainment is fine. We have to get the redemption. We have to give, because we have been born again and again. But every birth, we will have to do the karma and let him give us his grace to do the karma as per the sort of righteous way, and nishkama karma without having expectations, and submitting all his karmas to him. This is what we do. This is what we can do. This is what in our ability. This is what in our whole this one, and he expects us to do only that. Therefore, the dukkha, when it comes, dukkha or sorrow and all, it is a status of mind. When you don't have the full understanding, when you don't have the full clarity on that, then you have all these sorrows and all. Over a period of time, what you have encountered as a sorrow about 15-20 years before, it may not be a sorrow. At that point of time, you are not able to get a small thing, which your parents were not giving, and it would have cost a sorrow. At that time, the expectation was there. I think, I need to get, other children are having, my parents have not given. So that would have got a sorrow. But once you have once you understand, look, these are all the things, you have to get, you will get it anyway, because whenever it is, once you grow up, you don't bother about those things. Those goes off. But the new expectations comes. So while the new expectations comes and a new thing comes, no, I will have to get, I will have to get admission in this college, or I will have to get admission in this medical stream, or I have to get the admission in the engineering stream. Then that comes about. So likewise it goes on, because every time in the desire, the concept, it changes in characteristics, and based on that we take it. But once you reach a level, maybe over a period of time, based on your experience, okay, the things are happening, but we will keep doing it, but we will not give up. Supposing, if I aim to do something, if I am not going to get something, I am not going to give it up. I will still try. But if certainly I will get one day, it's not today, someday I will get it, but I should not leave my effort to do the job. That is what exactly Jayatita said, Trishna Vichetavat. Like taking, quenching your thirst, you go on doing it, never give up. So that bhava will automatically come. Therefore, in our concept, the enlightenment is not that, you give up desire and you will not be able to, because even if you want to attain that stage, that will be a Vairagya Pata. That Vairagya Pata will come, once you are evolved into a level, because like Raghavendra Swami and all, finally, Indu Nanahe Govinda, when he said that as a Vairagya Pata. At that point of time, what Swamiji has, he has only been given, he has given everything, he has he has never thought about anything. He was talking about the society, and he has thought about the people, and he has gone, created the infrastructure, everything and all for them. He didn't bother about it. Likewise, that is the level they are telling. For us, in this case, it will give you a little staggering. See, once you have done so far, that you have to give up ignorance, avidya, and once you have known and all, in this sloka, once I read it, you will know, what is this. Suddenly this sloka gives whatever we have learnt all these whiles, whatever we have imbibed all this while, is it all of some use? It creates some doubt. It gives a very staggering, startling statement. I will just recite that. Andam tama pravishanti yo avidyam upasate. Tato bhuya ivate tamo yavu vidyayam rataha. It says, if you are having ignorance, andam tama pravishanti, relentless blinding darkness, looming gloominess everywhere. You reach that, pravishanti, enter, those who are having avidya, without correct understanding, having failed to grasp the exact knowledge. So this we say, grasping the ignorance is, we have to give up all those things, we should not, nothing is going to happen, nothing is going to be a sorrow, nothing is going to be a happiness. He gives it, we will have to accept. This is first thing. The second thing, when they say, tato bhuya ivate tamo, so greater darkness is going to be there. Those who are following vidya, without exactly knowing the components of Vidya. See, avidya takes you to darkness, Vidya takes you to further darkness. If you don't have the exact component of what exactly is to be understood, that means it gives two things, essential. We have to keep it in mind. This is going to come the next four, five slokas, six slokas, total six slokas. Next five slokas are also going to elaborate on that. Both are necessary. You have to have avidya. Unless avidya is there, you will not be able to know what is vidya. Once you know what is vidya, you understand that you will take the avidya component and develop. And whenever avidya will certainly be there when you are dealing in this world. When you are dealing in this world, you can't always keep the. You will have to do. You will have to interact with people, and sometimes you will have some happiness. Sometimes you apply for something. Because even a normal thing, the government agencies don't react immediately, and they don't give it to you. You are put into problem. That is temporary inconvenience is there. All those things are there. You can't, but you will have to keep on doing the job. We can't, we will have to go and we will have to find out maybe some document is missing or something like that. We will go on doing it. But when you have it, this sorrow or some sort of the unhappiness which causes, that will be basically based on avidya. Is when you are interacting with the world, you are supposed to get avidya on very many occasions, because every time you will not be able to get that. But once you understand it is avidya, you will not be shaken. Because you have dealt with the government departments, they will take their own time. Certainly, if not, I think instead of 1 week, to say 2 weeks, it will happen. So you will not get into a sorrow. You will try to find what is the other mitigating measures, and you will be doing it. So, in this staggering statement, those who are pursuing Vidya are lost in a greater darkness than those running after the worldly affairs. This paradox is meant to serve as an abundant caution to the seekers. You don't get into, because in the spiritual part, when you are doing Vidya, what happens is, let us take Upasana. When you say, we are doing some puja, initially, we have been taught some puja to do in a particular way. Over a period of time, we also learn from others. Some acharya comes, he says, no, this is what you are doing, it's not this, you do this the other way. And this is the best to do it. Normally, this is the procedure you should do it. Now you do it. So over a period of time, you go on improving it. You are doing it and all. When you are doing it, seeing all these pujas I am doing, so naturally, I should be able to have, without any problem, I should be able to do anything. I will not have any sort of obstruction coming in my way. Even if it comes, it will go off, because you have got a belief in. Sometimes what happens, supposing you take Sundarakandam. Sundarakandam has got 68 swargas. And if you see Sundarakandam, any book and all, they will say, to get the marriage of your daughter or children, you study Sundarakandam. 7 days, you complete it 68 swargas, and something like that is there. And for certain other things, you do it like that. See, you do, because certainly, because that gives you mental solace. And normally, Sundarakandam is such a great scripture. Once you recite it, it will have its own effect in you as well as in the family around, in the house, everywhere and all. But then when you are doing it, see, I have done that. Why it is not happening? It's because you surrender it. Once you do it, you leave it to Him. You have been asked to do, you leave it to Him and He will take care of it. But supposing, something that doesn't happen, let us say, something which were as expected by you, it may happen, but it is not happening. See, I did all this, Sundarakandam, 7 times, I have read and all those things. Nothing has happened. Well, anyway, I think, because then what happens, though you may be mechanically doing it, in the inverse, see, Atma, you are not able to Atma Nivedanam, you will not be able to do the Atma Samarpanam. When you are not able to do, unless you do the Atma Samarpanam, you will not be able to get the Swarupa Jnana. So, Swarupa Jnanam, when it comes, normally in the normal world, what we are following is, we are based on you do this, and we tell slokas. Slokas, you tell sloka of Vigneshwara, you tell sloka of this and all. We are doing all those things. But when we do all those things, everywhere, finally to the supreme power, your Atma Nivedanam is not there. That Vidya will not take you to the full. It will take you to more darkness. See, you may be sort of enjoying, reading the Sundarakandam. Sundarakandam, once you read, so beautiful. Every time when you do it, Atmartha Bhava, you will be reading it, with your whole heart and mind, soul inside, you will be doing it. But when you do it, and you will be studying the scriptures. All you will be studying the Vedas. And as we are discussing all the Upanishad, all the Valmiki Ramayana, Mahabharatam, everything, we may be doing it. But even if we do it, when you don't do it, with the correct bhava, sometimes what happens, once we start reveling, assuming, because one we are doing it and others are, he's doing a parayanam every day and he has been doing the puja. Why can't we go and see that and all, because then certainly, he will try to help you, but it gives you some sort of a look, because of me they are learning, like that, once you start reveling in that, and some of them, because he's a great, once you comes and recites Sundarakandam in your house, because everything will happen and all, then he gives time, you have to take the time, he does it like that and all. You don't revel, you do it, you enjoy it, but you do it with Atma Savapanam, and you also understand the avidya. See, anything good is happening, everything good, bad is happening, it is all like that. See, in fact, the other day also we were telling in Vedas, if you see the number of times the invocation has been done, it is only Mitra, Varuna, Vayu, Varuna, and all those things. They have not done it to Shiva, Vishnu, or any other thing. They have not done it. But if you see the etymology of these words, finally it takes you to the supreme power. So when you say, it is Varuna is going to give, Vayu is going to give, Brahaspati is going to give, and with that bhava, when children, maybe when we understand, when it is being taught to us, they will tell us like that. But finally, when you, with the Guru, when we are able to understand, this is finally represents the final authority who is doing it, then all our avidya will go off. See, in this particular case, Srimad Acharya has beautifully said, two words that will sort of it will give us a lot of enlightenment on this particular sloka. Tasmad yada swarupam Narayana manamayam. Your mana full of Narayana manamayam. When you have it, ayayatasya nintichana. Because once you have Narayana mayam in your full sort of, the mana, when you don't have anything, that type of enlightenment when comes, it is that. And then you have to continuously aware of the avidya knowledge also when you are dealing. It's not because Raghavendra Swami, when you says, you need both of them, avidya and vidya knowledge, both of them are required to deal in this world. And avidya, another concept they are telling, whenever you find avidya, you have to do the khandana. You have to sort of nindya. You are not going to tell others in your own self. When you are thinking, whenever some sorrow comes or anything, like, no, I should not be going by that. This sorrow is nothing. This unhappiness is nothing and all. See, you should continuously be. They say it's not only knowing the knowledge is correct, knowledge is good enough. You should also be able to reject the incorrect knowledge. The incorrect knowledge will certainly come on a day-to-day basis when you are dealing in this world. You will not be able to go only with the positive knowledge all through and all. See, that is one of the slokas which say, Yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharata abhyuktanam adharmasya sajatmanam sujameham. See, unless the adharma goes beyond the dharma, then only the God comes. See, adharma will be there. Without adharma, God will not be able to come. The adharma has to go beyond dharma. So only dharma is there, like Ramaraja, when everything was there, he sort of ruled it for Shatavasya Sahasrani, because 11,000 years, so many years he has ruled and all. Those ways, there is no need for God to come, and I think, in fact, unless adharma is there, then only he will come. There was a Ravana, that's why Rama had come. But when he was ruling in Ramaraja, no need to take any avatar or anything like that, nothing will come and all. That's why even say, even if you want to get to the avatara of God, you need adharma and all. Like, both the knowledge are continuously required. In this, they are going 2 or 3 small explanations they are giving. Avidya is ayathartha knowledge. Ayathartha knowledge. Ayathartha is, yathartha knowledge is knowledge, they say. Ayathartha is supposing certain normal way the things will have to happen. One action will have the same particular reaction for that, and it will go on doing this. Once you understand, you know, yes, this is happening like that. But in your condition, when it happens, a particular, when you do certain acts and when something is not happening, because it may not be happening because that is the niyati of the world. See, when we say the sloka, Narayana Paripurna Gunarnavaya Vishvodaya Stititolayan, he has created the Vitva, he has made the Stiti. Stitolaya Niyati Prataya, Jnana Prataya, Vibudasura Saukya Dukkha Satkaranaya. It's not only Saukya, Dukkha also. So he is, because when you are doing a karma, your karma phala, prarabdha karma, and because the karma you are doing in this present birth, both of them will give the phala. It is a natural this one. The God is there, to help you and understand, what is the karma phala, how to do it and all. So therefore, it is necessary for us to understand the yathartha knowledge. Yathartha, when it takes place, yes, this will happen. And avidya is ayathartha. When you say, why it is happening. Because normal, if you put the water, you pump up the water, water will go up only. It will not go down. So, but in our circumstances, in our difficulties, when we expect something to happen like that, when some difficulty there, they will take, no, you go to the court, it will all be resolved. Court is only, because the interpreter of law, they are not, we very nicely said, courts are not courts of justice, they are only courts of law. They only say what is law. They have never given the justice and all. Justice is given when no country needs a law, when everyone is having the righteous way. If we can't have a righteous way because we have to live in this world, our situation is different. We are sharing the resources. Why our thing happens? Because there is a fight for resources. We are trying to get the resources to the extent of our requirement. Someone else is also trying to take his resources to his requirement. But this is resources God has given. As Mahatma Gandhi very rightly said, the world is sufficient enough to give everyone's need, but it can't give everyone's greed. So that is what happens. This is again, our own surroundings, our own expectations, all those things it causes. See, continuously in our sort of bhashyas, tikas and interpretation, they say you have to condemn avidya. It's not only knowing the right knowledge is enough, you have to keep on condemning. Whom are you going to condemn? You are not going to get Mayavada, Kandana like that, something. You have to condemning in the sense in your own, you understand when avidya takes place, when something takes place, where it's not the right way, that should be happening and all. In the world we are dealing with, in the world when we are dealing with, the things are bound to happen in that way and all. Once you know that, you will not be influenced by that. You will be sthita prajna. It will not affect you. If it doesn't affect you, then you will be able to do. In this context, that is why they say avidya and vidya has to be known to each of us. And one more thing, because when we do the knowledge, it should not be just as a blind faith. That's what they say. See, if something is there, you say recite Harivayu Stuti on all Thursdays. It is Guru's day. If you do that, this will happen. Yes, do Harivayu Stuti. I think it is very good. If you recite it and the very words, it has been put in such a way, Narayana Panditacharya, it internally from Nabi to entire, because in fact, Harivayu Stuti, we will talk a little different. The Chandas is different and the way it is, once you recite it in full-fledged energy, after Harivayu Stuti, you see, you will not find anyone drowsy or dormant or something like that. You will be just picked up. You will be just like Madhvacharya, you will be able to feel like that. This has been made. Once you do it, with full involvement and all. So likewise, with the blind faith, by doing Harivayu Stuti, I am going to get this and that. But you will have to get full involvement as well as you have to submit yourself. Don't expect anything. I have to say, Harivayu Stuti, it is not that, you have to recite only when you have to expect something. Even otherwise, you can do that. This is one example. It is likewise. Even if you say Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare with full bhava. And as Prandaradasar has said, once you ring Rama Nama, nothing else is required. You don't have to give Godana, Budana, nothing. Everything is intent. But that bhava is very important. Involvement is important. Knowledge is very important. And you should not be yielding yourself to the sorrow and other things. That is what they are telling. And one more thing is, when you find someone is not going through the correct path, you will have to correct him also. Suppose you know one person who is telling, look, I have done all these things, nothing is happening. See, if you want to get the admission in university, here or US or anywhere, whatever it is, you will have to write certain exams. And you will have to get the basic, the minimum requirements, whether it is GATE or TOEFL, whatever it is. Or in our case also, we have got all the exams. Then you apply and try for that. You do, without not much of an effort, because you have to need excellence in whatever you are doing. That's what finally they pulls you and puts you into is, you do everything as excellent as possible. Don't leave anything to chance. Then you do it. But you do, okay, I also did something, I also applied, because I have done, I have recited this sloka, I have recited this mantra and all, nothing is happening and all. You correct those people. And someone, who is feeling, little dejected, sir, I have been expecting this, I have been doing it for such a while. I also did all the other things what my gurus have said and all. Then you will have to tell them, look, because this is how it is happening, because this will not happen. Everyone will not get into IIT, because out of the only so many seats are only there. Everyone will not get into IAS, because there are only so many things are there. You have got so many other avenues, you go about it. And you go on connecting the cause and action, and then what you have done. If you try to do your efforts and link with all those things, the life will become a sort of vortex. You will go on, they say that is why, you have a knowledge of avidya, you knowledge of vidya. And if you have avidya knowledge good enough, and if you have a blind faith, vidya, you will be going to still greater darkness. That is what they say, because it's having the knowledge enough alone is not enough. You will have to understand how best, you will be able to excel in whatever you are doing. As well, try to give as much as possible. When you do a job and when you are giving yourself, when you are doing puja, upasana, surrender yourself, submit yourself, atma nivedana, when you give it, then you will, because what we do, everything else will be a namaswarupa in the whole world. We will also be getting, the benefit of it. It's not that we will not be getting, because people will say, he has done right, and we ourselves will get the satisfaction, our people. But once you get the Swarupa Jnana of the Bhagavanta, when you get that, because nothing will matter to you. Whatever happens, nothing is matter to you. See, it's happening, because anyway it is happening. There is no other way it can happen. This is what this sloka says. And Srimad Acharyas, because that is why even the scriptures and all these things we are reading, Acharya has pointed out one particular thing. Paravidya and Aparavidya, all of us have known that. We have also discussed earlier. Paravidya is the Ishvara, not only Jnana, realization, that Swarupa Jnana. Aparavidya is whatever, we are reading this Upanishad and we are learning this, and we are also doing our Upasana, all those karmas, we do that. When you do that, Aparavidya, because the other concepts, Advaitic and all, Aparavidya is this and Paravidya is this. Srimad Acharya said, every Vidya is Paravidya, every Vidya is Aparavidya, depending upon your mental conditionalities. If you submit, it is Paravidya. if you are not able to submit, it is Aparavidya. So you don't bother about it. Do karma. See, that is the greatest way of making us understand. Don't get into anything, because this sloka has been brought about. It is Swayambhu Manu's own experience, because that we will let again bring it about. He has understood. He has been worried, because the entire creation has been destabilized. They are trying to destabilize, and he has to do other things and all. But at the same time, when he has understood and look, because always he is there, his help is there, his upasana will help him to ward off, then he has gone about it. This is what the Acharya has very beautifully said. And this is being taken as most of the with Tikas also. Vadiraja also has referred it in his Tika. Raghavendra Swami has also referred to Tika. Of course, Jaitirtha has given a very elaborate Tika on that. And most of the slokas, if you see, finally when it ends, if you do it, let us say, because Mahalashmi Ashtakam, Ekakale Pade Nityam, Sarva, because you will get all phalas. महालक्ष्मी अष्टकसूत्रम् एक पठेत् भक्तिमानरः सर्वसिद्धिमाप्नोति राज्यं प्राप्नोति सर्वथा एककाले पठे नित्यं धनधर्म समावृत त्रिकाले पठे नित्यं महाशत्रुविनाशनं महालक्ष्मी भवे नित्यं प्रसन्ना वरदा शुभा. It is like that, they give you the phala shruti. When you read, even our Vishnu Sahasranama also has got a phala shruti. Phala shruti is basically to attract. See, when you based on phala shruti, when you do, that is not the knowledge. That knowledge is not the correct knowledge, they say. Phala shruti is incidental. It will happen whether you, even if you don't want it, the phala will happen. Because of phala shruti, if you do, because they will say, yasharte labate yasha dhanate labate dhanam vidyarte labate vidya, all those things, everything will happen. But by telling that, once they are given this some attractive elements into this, that becomes okay. You take and I will tell this sloka, because it's more important. Now I have to get a job, I will do this. And maybe, once you are about to get married, no, I will do this, this is more important. That is not the knowledge at all. Once you do the knowledge, that's what this says, you will go to little higher darkness than when you are having avidya. See, avidya, ignorance when you had, you will have gone to the darkness. Once you have this type of attitude, you will go still further darkness. It gives us such a startling statement. That shows, basically they say, you have understood, they understand the concept, you have to have the equanimity, because to reduce, because unless you reduce your expectation, you will not be submitting yourself. This sloka number 9 to 14, I said, it tells the sadhana and all. 15 to 18 is giving the final concept of saranagati. Once you understand, they are preparing you. When you want to finally saranagati is not that, totally you do something and don't do anything at all. You have to do action. Karman eva adhikarasti. You will have to do kurvate karmane. That is no doubt about it. You will have to do that. But then, how that bhava, how you get into that? Once you read the Upanishad, once you finally come out of that, as a seeker, all of us will understand, yes, there is nothing much to be done. We have done the sadhana. We have understood the right knowledge as well as the wrong knowledge. And once you have understood the wrong knowledge also, because slowly, not only that, we will have to guide others. Don't leave it to that. They say that is also take you to darkness. If some jnanis, they think, because this fellow is doing, he will not listen to us, let him do whatever he thinks. That is not correct. You have to correct a person if he is not able to get a proper understanding, and we will have to go. This is it. And basically, this sloka is taken along with the 10 also, 9 and 10. They can be together, they can be separate also. But we will be going separately because each one is giving a little new component in that, by reason of which we will be able to understand more properly. And this concept is very difficult to understand also. Even once the ignorance is there, what is left? You have pure knowledge. It is not pure knowledge. As long as it is, because when you know karma jnana and bhakti jnana, as well as jnana yoga, karma yoga, bhakti yoga, all the three together, when you the confluence takes place, when you finally submit, you will have a very clear understanding. You will be doing the karma, you have got the jnana, and you have got the bhakti. See, bhakti is, let us not take it lightly. Bhakti is very important. In fact, one of the slokas in Mahabharata, it says that God Almighty may finally give you mukti, but He may not be giving bhakti to you. So, because bhakti is the concept, because there is one Narada Bhakti Sutra is there. Narada Bhakti Sutra is totally, because not only submission, proper submission and understanding, to the God. That is what it is. With all the three, when we are able to submit and when we are able to do the karma, then we get know what is avidya. Once you know avidya only, then you know what your vidya is. You will be able to correctly do it. When you do vidya, you will not be doing the vidya by blind faith. You will be doing with the proper understanding. That is what this particular sloka says. This is basically acid test for the lot of proponents, tikas and commentaries, and even people who are sort of trying to explain. This concept has been brought up because most of the things what has happened, a lot of commentators, they have taken avidya as karma. Those basically with the Advaitic sort of a slant. It is not karma. Karma you have to do, because once you have taken the jiva, once you are in the jagrati, and the sloka number 8, we saw it very clearly how the world is real. In fact, in the recording also, we have very clearly emphasized the world is real. There is no Mityavyada. If you think Mityavyada, it is supposed to be avidya as per our Dvaita concept. World is not unreal. There is no illusion. That is avidya. You remove that avidya. If once you remove that avidya, then it becomes vidya. In fact, this particular thing, Jaitita is asking, Tena vidyayam yayatasya yevataha avidya vidya virodhi mityagyana vachana. Vidya virodhi mityagyana. Mityagyana is a vidya virodhi. Therefore, it is a real world, because I want to bring it about in sloka number 8. Srimad Acharya has quoted again and again to prove his point that world is real. It doesn't have any Mityavyada, and in that, we will have to do the karma. When we do the karma, we will have to submit the karma. This is it for this sloka. Then we will go to sloka number 10. Before we go to sloka number 10, it would be bound, and if you have, because this is little different concept now, we have come into sloka number 9 to 14. I would like to have, anything, you would like to know, as well as if I have sort of a miss to tell, or if I couldn't tell, I can tell that. Yeah. It changes. So tomorrow. Because you are conditioned to understand it's there. That's not there. That avidya, once you know, because what I know as avidya when I was a student, and what I know as avidya now is totally different. At that time, for me, I have to get good marks and I have good rank, and I will have to go into that. That was the only focus. But then once you come into the world, art of living, art of experience, once you acquire, there are so many human aspects. Humanity is the binding factor. In fact, in this context, I will totally sort of appreciate Raghavendra having sent that Facebook post. What is that which tells us? Avidya is also, once you know the controller in everyone, don't treat anyone as different. See, that is avidya. Even now, when you say, because, okay, you don't allow this fellow, say, anyone can come. See, even it maybe he belongs to some other religion, or if he has come and, he want to know about this one, let him come and do it. And even in our village, when we go there, because this caste and the system is very well, brought about it. Because it's the human nature. Wherever you are there, what is the human nature? You are trying to dominate if given an opportunity. You are looking for an opportunity. Let me tell you, we are all purposive animals. We are animals, we are purposive animals. Animals are not purposive. Once they get their stomach full, they don't bother about it. They allow, because even some leftover is there, they allow the other animals to take it and go off. For us, it is not there. We never leave a leftover. When we think, of thinking of our generations, we are purposive. Every action, without purpose, there is no action. Why, the karma becomes important. Once you do your karma, becomes a purpose behind that. So once the purpose is totally taken out, once you do it as a matter of duty, obligation, and a service, then there is no the purpose is slowly lost, and the karma's full effect is there. But once you are purposive, you will not be doing even the right karma. You will do only that karma which is going to give you that object of the purpose. This is exactly, this purpose changes, because whenever we were bachelors, we didn't have a purpose of anything to sort of, for our family requirement and all. Once we are married, we have got it. Once we have come to this stage, we have got other things. Maybe once you now, you don't have any access to grind. Look, because we, whatever we had seen enough. Now we will be thinking of that, because now our avidya will be totally, because if any remnants are there, we will leave it, and we will try to guide some youngsters. And some of them may not have enough time to listen to you, because the time is very important factor now. Even between the husband and wife also, there is much of a time. Even if you tell, we do hear properly or not do. Basically, the communication is the basic sort of, it's not full Our communications never has been full. Even if we think, we have been communicating, we are not been communicating. That is the reality. If you think over, that is Vidya. For instance, communicating, one of the biggest Western philosophers, one of the biggest philosophers in Germany, he said communication is the biggest problem for him. Whereas you see the animals, even the orangutan, or those monkeys or the chimpanzees and all, they have made a research and found out they have got only 52 signs to communicate. They say that 52 signs are enough to communicate, and even for the whole world, including the human beings. But we have developed the language, we have developed the niceties of the language. We don't speak the same language. See, if you want to get your thing done, we having been a purposive animal, you want to talk to someone to get the things done, you will talk in a particular way. But if you go to another condition, you will do it in a particular way. We will not be talking to a sort of, the janitor the same way what we are talking to a bank manager. We know, because the purpose is different, we will be doing it. So once you have, once the purposiveness of, our being is eliminated, that is the knowledge. That knowledge comes. And then, because we don't, once you know you are, everyone is equal. In fact, I think the great extent, our Acharya who, Pejavar Swami, who brought a lot of things, there are a lot of controversial opinions here and there and all. Yes, very, very clearly, in a one-to-one discussions, in a small group discussion, he said, you tell me, where is there in our scripture to do all those things? Our scripture says you should do the knowledge. Your Vidya should be fully. Purnata is not there. When you have, the purpose is left, thrown out, then your knowledge becomes Purnata. Once the Purna knowledge, once you comes, you becomes eligible, you get the Swarupa Jnana, that is becomes the important jnana. Which, see, in this context, in fact, they are telling there is one particular story. This is the last story ever he told, Pejavar Swami, before he took the great Vrindavana. There was one Indradvamna, one king was there, it seems. He did lot of good things and other things, and then finally he was taken to Swarga. Yama has taken him, and Swarga he died, and then after his period was over, he said, look, now we'll have to decide whether you can continue here or, something else has to happen. There is one thing. He said, you go to the earth and find out how many people remember you. He came here. He came and asked someone, have you heard Indradvamna? He is the king. I don't know who that fellow, some fellow must have been. There are so many kings, the generations are there, some fellow. And then there was one Pakshi, which was watching him, and he said, okay, it may be happening because people are telling the Pakshi is, someone said, you go and ask that Pakshi, the Pakshi may be. Pakshi said, look, I have been just working for my small, my own siblings, and I have been going here and there. I don't have any time, nor anyone has talked like the name like what you are telling. It's all cock and bull story. So then it sent you to one ostrich. It was just, it is always coming to pick up the fish. And they say it has been coming to this lake for a long time. He went to a lake. He was directed to a lake. And there he said, it also, I don't know. But then he said, there is one tortoise. Tortoise, normally they are living for generations, 200, 300 years and all, more than that. And you can go and ask him, he may be. When the tortoise, when he went and asked whether you heard, why do you want to know? Tortoise asked him. No, I got to know. I have come here. I was here as a king. I have done a lot of good work. I wanted to know. I have built bridges. I have planted so many trees and other things. I just wanted to know whether anyone has remembered me. No one has remembered, but only one person was remembering you. Not only one person, one set of people. They don't know who you are, but they are remembering your name. And what is that? How do they remember? And he got startled because I have not done anything so much, but how suddenly someone says, he's being remembered. What is that? And then he said, this, the lake, where you have come, this tortoise was also living, in the banks of the lake only. We are all here for a long time. I think maybe because of this, they are remembering you and all. What happened? See, he did one particular yajna, because as a king, he was supposed to do yajna in those days. he gave the godana to all the villages. He didn't discriminate, as Raghavendra has written. He has not discriminate caste, creed, only vipras and all. He has given it to everyone and all. So those people, once they have got they will have to graze. So these cows, they came and started grazing one free area for a long time. Once they were grazing, slowly their hoofs, all the four hoofs, they used to graze every day, to dig and other things. For a period of time, it became a small, that I think the big foal was there. I think that some big ditch was formed all around and all. Suddenly there was a rain, the rain got filled. That ditch started expanding, it became a very big lake. And by virtue of that, it became a very big lake, and it had enough water to feed the fields and all. And all these ostrich, the birds and the tortoise. Tortoise has been living for several hundred years. So it says, I have been living here. And we all remember, because this lake is there, and the lake was caused by the ditch. The ditch was caused by the hoofs of the cows. And presumably you have given this hoofs to, these cows to the people in the village. And because of that it happened. That shows indirectly, when you don't do the knowledge, without the knowledge that you have done a dharma, you have done a big lake and some on that, then you are remembered even after some time. When you have done, look, I have given the cows. And because he didn't know that, he just didn't know that. Without our knowledge, without our this one, as a matter of routine, as a matter of svabhava, once you have done, that becomes the vidya. That, so once it has been done, again he has been called, and then the Swarga was allowed to continue. That is how the story goes. This is the last story recited by Vishveshwara Tirtha of Pejawar Mata, before his last Brindavana. This story has become very popular because there is, I think, some YouTube also there. Someone is telling, how he is recited. That's how I came to know. Though I knew the story bit and the details of it, I came to know. So, as Prabhu was very correctly asked, it is changes, avidya changes over a period of time. Once you are not without purpose, without conscious knowledge when you are doing the things, but with the sense of duty and excellence, then becomes the full knowledge. I think with this we can go to sloka number 10. I think this time is more or less coming to. I think next week we can take detailed this one. But today I will just recite the sloka, end this, so that you can just understand the sloka, keep it in mind, and we can go to the next week. Anya devaur vidyaya anyata ahur avidyaya iti shushruma dhiranam yenas tata vijajakshire. What they are saying is that it is a very distinct and different vidya and avidya. Because of the knowledge of avidya, what you are getting, the result is different. Because of the vidya, the knowledge is different. This has been very, very clearly elaborated by all the gurus before us. Like this Isavasya Upanishad is compiled by Yajnavalkya. His guru was Vaishampayana and others, all those things. In our concept, in Dvaita concept, as we said, is Yajnaya Upanishad. Yajnaya Upanishad was told to Swayambhu Manu. Swayambhu Manu has got his from Brahma, because he is the first person to have been created by Brahma, after creating this world and all. He has created. And Brahma must have heard it from the Mahavishnu. This is how, the parampara comes. Finally, the greatness of this sloka is, they give credit to gurus. It's all, because what we know, everything is, these gurus have told us. This is the effect of it and all. The result of avidya and vidya, both are because of the gurus have experienced, and they have recorded, they have sold by Shruti, that we are able to understand. I think with this, we will keep this session. First, congratulations to Raghavendra once again. I think you brought a very right subject, so we will all be able to go through it, get the benefit of it. Thank you, and we will remember Jaitirtha's day today. I think whatever little you can read about Jaitirtha, recite about Jaitirtha, everything, we will all be getting our own benefit. Jaitirtha is there, he has done nothing to get in. Today, Malkeda, it will be a very big occasion. With this prayer, we will conclude. I will recite the Shanti Pata. Om Purnamadaha Purnam. Yes, Raghavendra. Jaitirtha Vak, yes. That is the biggest. I think we have got. We recite all these Jaitirtha before we recite anything. Mahabharata, Ramayana, Sundarakanda, anything is right because after Acharya it is Jaitirtha, and with the Jaitirtha only we get the full knowledge, and he is the embodiment of knowledge. Jaitirtha. So we conclude. Thank you, Raghavendra. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः